Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. Oh, hell no.
Hi guys, it's Yanie and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts and opinions on this Doja Cat situation. Now, if you are not familiar with this story, this all originated from Lana Del Rey, an American songwriter who penned an open letter, and she referenced a few of her favorite artists like Beyonce, Ariana Grande, you have Kalani, and then you also have Nicki Minaj and some other people that were included in this. Now, in my opinion, as a black woman, at first I didn't really see the big deal because I understood where she was coming from, but then when she started responding in the comment section, that's when it became this white feminist thing to me, where she's so concerned about herself that she's kind of like making it seem like this is about me, this is about feminism and everything like that, as if these other women of color are not considered in this same conversation. And it was kind of like, let me use my white privilege to somehow get the sympathy of people out here who don't support my music. Basically, that's the vibe that I got. But in all reality, she lost me in the comment section where she said, where do women who are more delicate fit in the music industry? And that's what really sent me over, as far as, okay, now this is turning into more of a, I can't use the R word on here, but I want to say the R word, and we all know what that is.
Lana Del Rey ended up responding to the backlash. She took to her Instagram and wrote a couple of final notes on my controversial post that's not controversial at all. Despite the feedback I've heard from several people that I mentioned in a controversial way, whether it be Ariana or Doja Cat, I want to say that I remain firm in my clarity and stance, and what I was writing about was the importance of self-advocacy for the more delicate and often dismissed softer female personality, that there does have to be room for that type in what will inevitably become a new wave, third wave of feminism that is rapidly approaching. Watch. Then she went on to say, perhaps I could have given more context to my post by mentioning the title of the second book that would be out next March, called Behind the Iron Gates: Insights from an Institution. I'm sorry that the folks who I can only assume are super Trump, Pence supporters, or hyper liberals or flip-flopping headline-grabbing critics can't read and want to make it a race war, when in fact the issue was with female critics and female alternative artists who are dissociated from their own fragility and sexuality, and berate more sexual liberated artists like myself and the women I mentioned. But in truth, making it about race says so much more about you than it does about me. You want the drama, you don't want to believe that a woman could be beautiful, strong, and fragile at the same time, loving and all-inclusive, by making personal reparations simply for the joy of doing it. Nothing new here in your reactions, same as 10 years ago when a million think pieces came out about me feigning emotional fragility or lying about coming from no money when that was the truth. My aim and my message are clear, that I have control over my own story, and if the women I mentioned don't want to be associated with me, that's absolutely fine by me. So basically, she's bothered because black feminism is a trend, black sexuality is a trend, and she cannot stand it because then that doesn't give her self-advocacy that she's looking for with her white privilege having, you know what I really want to say. So I'm a little irritated because this just goes to show how white feminism does not cater to people of color and certainly doesn't cater to black women. I'm sorry that the black woman's sexuality is a trend right now, and that's something something that I really want to talk about because I see the negative side of that. I also see the positive side, but at the same time, I don't see us really reaping all the benefits from us being sexually liberated on public platforms that are being controlled by people who wear blue-collared shirts and they're all about capitalism. So that is another video that I really want to do, but for now, she's upset at the fact that Black feminism and the Black woman's sexual liberation is now a trend and she feels left out. Let's call it what it is.
She came across as if she was being prejudiced towards women of color and Black women. She has an issue with the fact that people are not supporting her music, and it seems that people who are more so women of color, women who have a Black ethnicity somehow, some way, whether they're half, multiracial, or whatever the case may be, she has an issue with them getting more attention, more likes, more success with their music when basically she's doing the same thing. But the issue with Lana Del Rey is that she also practices witchcraft, which I personally found out about back when I was listening or getting into house music, when I was learning more about different cultures and different music and things like that, and I stumbled across her. But when I found out that she practiced witchcraft, I didn't want to expose myself to that type of music, her type of energy, because you can't really trust all witchcraft practices out here that are being done. And if she's using that in her music, I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't really listen to her that much, but I did tune into a few of her songs, and she is a really good artist. It's just I don't feel like her music is really suitable for the culture. As she addressed in her open pen letter, this is for the culture, and honestly her music doesn't really cater for the culture. It's not really pop culture music, but she feels that because she talks about sex, she doesn't understand why she doesn't get the same level of success. And honestly, it just comes down to her audience. I mean, you have to understand who you're catering to, and she's not catering to an audience that really is all about white feminism and sexuality and everything like that. I really don't think her audience really cares about her message in her music pertaining to a white woman's sexuality. Her music really doesn't suit the audience. It doesn't suit her appearance. It doesn't suit her perception. It doesn't suit her white privilege. It just does not suit her. So to me, that's why she's not as successful as these other women of color, and that is just my opinion. Today's video is sponsored by Swirly Curly, and I am testing out their scrunchies. They're called Snap Scrunchies. So I'm going to be testing them out today. So this company is Black owned. It's woman owned. If you are fully in support of Black owned businesses and women who own those businesses, you should definitely check out Swirly Curly. I already will tell you that this is the best thing going for so many different reasons, but for today I just wanted to demonstrate on camera for you guys how I use these Swirly Curly snappies. So if you ever deal with situations like this where you have a hair tie or hair ties that constantly break, and this one is almost on the verge of breaking, this happens to me all the time. It's because my hair is so thick, and whenever I want to do a tighter bun, I always use hair ties like this, but it's damaging. It pulls my hair, it breaks my hair, and then not only that, the hair tie will break. So then I would use these as well. I wouldn't get the tight puff ball that I really want, and then also trying to get it off, it would break my hair, it would dry my hair and everything like that. Some things that I want to educate you on about this product is that you will not experience breakage, dryness, or broken hair ties. These scrunchies are available in black, brown, and black velvet. So this is what two curly swirlies look like. And this was so simple and so quick, so easy. And then let me do it again. Fro is still looking cute. So now let me just try one curly swirly, and this is going to be a tighter puff ball. So this will probably help you sleep at night. Another thing that I'm noticing about this is that you put your hair in a pineapple and you use a regular hair tie, and it will create a crease up here. It's not going to create that crease up there. You can also rewash them and they will shrink back to normal size. So if you experience any stretching like you would normally with natural hair and regular hair ties, if you wash these, you put them in the washer, you let them air dry, they will revert back to its original size. Swirly Curly is $19.99, so you can get a pack of these for $19.99. And if you are looking to save some coins, sis, on your first purchase, use my discount code at checkout and I'll make sure to put all that information down below in the description box. So I also received their satin headscarf, and this is what it looks like. This is 100% satin, so it's not going to dry out your hair, it's not going to break off your hair, it's going to keep the moisture. So the key to natural hair and growing your hair and not having breakage is moisture. So if you get a satin hair scarf and it's 100% satin, then you don't have to worry about breakage. And then also, this is kind of cute to just wear, honey, and this would go real nice with my outfit that I got on today from Target. I love Target, y'all know this. So you could probably tie it around like this and wear it. I would wear it just like this, you guys. It just depends on what you're going for, but you can definitely make this fashion, honey. I'm seeing it. And you can tie it around in the back. I like this. It's so soft. I love this. So as you all know, with recent events with me experiencing breakage around my hairline, I so need this. I'm just really trying to practice healthier habits when it comes to my natural hair. So if you're interested in Swirly Curly and you're experiencing broken hair ties, dryness, and breakage by using regular hair ties, make sure you check out Swirly Curly. Remember that it is Black owned and it is women owned, so you will be supporting a Black owned business and women, of course. Who doesn't love that? So make sure you check them out, and then also make sure you check the links down below in the description box. So let's go ahead and get back to today's video. When it comes to Doja Cat, I didn't really understand her tweet or response. There's a lot of speculation regarding what she meant by what she said. So let me go ahead and get into this whole conversation with Doja Cat. Doja Cat ended up responding to Lana. Lana ended up mentioning Doja Cat in this open pen letter that she posted to social media. And so she responded in a very weird way. But in all honesty, when is Doja Cat not being weird? Like, to me, she's a very weird, odd person. I always felt like she was a loose cannon and she's very all over the place, but I always felt like she was part of a group where she gives a voice for those who are just very weird and different, who are into like AIM character cosplay type of culture. I felt like that's the culture that she fit in, and so it gave a voice for those people that were really into that life. But now it's kind of like spiraling into a very weird, I don't even want to say the R word, I don't want to say it stems from that. I feel like it stems from self-hatred in her upbringing, and her upbringing was that her Black Nigerian father abandoned her and she was left to be raised by her Jewish white mother. And so I think that brings a lot of self-hatred and confusion, and she doesn't really know her sense of identity. I mean, she is a biracial woman, but she doesn't really know her Black side. She only knows her white side, and so I think that brings on a lot of confusion for her when it comes to trying to identify with who she is as a woman. But I will say this, I don't really see how this is the Black woman's issue. I see a lot of Black women chiming in, making it seem like, oh, this is our problem, and I really don't see the problem for us in this situation. And the reason why I say this is because she doesn't have a hatred for us, in my opinion. I feel like she has a strong hatred for Black men, and it's so evidently clear if you watch some of the tiny chat videos that you see all over YouTube, all over social media. I don't really see verbatim, word of mouth, how she has directed any hatred that she has towards Black women. Now, we have seen this with Cardi B. She verbally has tweeted things, has said things about Black women directly, but when it comes to Doja Cat, I don't see that. So I'm trying to understand how this is our problem as Black women. I basically feel that the reason why the culture on Twitter, Black Twitter, is trying to make this a, oh, Doja Cat doesn't like Black people, is is because then we as black women will act as activist warriors and come to the black man's defense like we always do. And meanwhile, when it comes to our own issues and the things that we go through, we are unheard and we are left defenseless. So when it comes to Doja Cat, I really do not plan to cancel her for real unless she does something directed towards black women. Will I add to the hate train of black men? No, but I don't feel like this is my issue. And like I said, when I made my I'm no longer caping for black men video, as a social group, if I don't know you on a personal level, I'm not caping for you. If I don't know you in your day-to-day life, your day-to-day routine, I can't really vouch for you because I don't know. There are things that are being done from black men to black women, and so it's just I don't know. I have to take it by if I know you on a personal level, and if I don't, then I can't really vouch for you. That is how I feel when it comes to the social group of black men. Do I hate black men? No, I do not. Do I wish bad on them? No, I do not. But at the end of the day, until they start actively working on the different things that we go through as a social group as black women, I don't feel the need to come to their defense. When it comes to Lana Del Rey, I do feel we should be upset with her because in her response, in her comment section after she posted this open pen letter, she said to the women that are more delicate, that's the part that I really want to highlight. She said to the women that are more delicate, as if black women or women of color are not viewed as delicate. And that's the problem that I have with what she said. I have a real issue with her, not so much Doja Cat. I feel like Doja Cat has a lot of hatred towards black men, but I don't feel like she has a lot of hatred towards black women. And if she does, she hasn't made that known as of yet. Now, I am recording this video on Sunday. Things could change, more information could come out, but as of right now, I don't see the issue that we should have as black women towards Doja Cat as of yet. Now, Doja Cat did come out with a song title Didn't Do Nothing, and it has a lot of controversial speculations and assumptions, but we really don't have any real evidence as far as her having a true hatred for black people. I want that to just be known.
Doja Cat ended up making a statement. She took to her Instagram and wrote, "I want to address what's been happening on Twitter. I've used public chat rooms to socialize since I was a child. I shouldn't have been on some of those chat room sites, but I personally have never been involved in any racist conversations. I'm sorry to everyone that I offended. I'm a black woman. Half of my family is black from South Africa. I'm very proud of where I come from. As for the old song that's resurfaced, it was in no way tied to anything outside of my own personal experience. It was written in response to people who often used that term to hurt me. I made an attempt to flip its meaning, but recognized it was a bad decision to use the term in my music. I understand my influence and impact, and I'm taking this all very seriously. I love you all, and I'm sorry for upsetting or hurting any of you. That's not my character, and I'm determined to show that to everybody moving forward. Thank you." The only issue that I actually have with Doja Cat is the fact that she's trying to use her blackness when it's convenient for a PR move. She's referring to herself as a black woman out of convenience. That's the only issue that I actually have with Doja Cat, but I'm sure she's being advised by people that she has hired to represent her in public relations. So for that, I will not hold it against her personally. I don't see how this is the black woman's problem. This is the issue with us. We always like to insert ourselves into things that does not pertain to us. And then when we have our own issues within our own social group and we're looking to be heard, we're looking for our voices to be heard, we are silent. And so we have to stop inserting ourselves in situations like these that do not pertain to us, because the collective of black men, let me make it clear, the collective, not the selective, the collective of black men do not come to our defense when it comes to our social issues. So why do I feel the need to come to their defense for their social issues? I separated myself. Our issues, our social issues are not the same. This is not my fight. And we as black women, we have got to stop inserting ourselves to be the guard dogs of black men. We have got to stop doing that, because who is guarding us? Who is defending us? No one. So for that reason alone, I'm not going to get upset or emotional over this Doja Cat situation.
So with that being said, I don't feel like this is the black woman's problem. And of course, we always get wrapped up into things that we think are really directed towards us, and then sometimes it may just be directed towards black men. She, to me, has a true hatred for black men because she was abandoned by her black father and she was raised by her Jewish white mother, and so maybe she's having issues with that. But I don't feel like this is directed towards black women. Now, I did see a video, a clip of her having a lot of self-hatred towards herself pertaining to her 4C hair, but that was self-hatred. That was something that was directed towards herself. She has an issue with her 4C hair. I still don't see evidence. I don't see a verbatim video, tweet, nothing of her really being nasty or hateful towards black women. I have seen worse from Cardi B. I've seen worse from these other artists that are out here that are still flourishing, that are still making sales off their music. I have seen worse. So when it comes to Doja Cat, I think that the joke is really on black men. They like to put these women on pedestals thinking that everything is all good just because they're light skinned and they happen to be half black, and that's what they put on pedestals. So for that reason alone, I really think the joke is on black men, and it's not surprising that she somewhat hates them. You really have to ask yourself where her hatred stems from when it comes to black men. And when you look at her history and her childhood and her upbringing, if you do the research, the fact that she was abandoned by her black father, I think that is where the self-hatred and the hatred for black men stems from. I don't feel like she hates black women. That is just my opinion. Another point that I wanted to make is that we still have black people in the black community who feel that the one drop rule still applies, and it's 2020, you guys. Let it go. If they are biracial, they are biracial. And another question that I have for you guys is mainly for my biracial people out here, my biracial followers. Is this what it looks like, or is this what it means to be accepted by your white side? Is that you kind of have to overcompensate yourself to be this prejudice, I can't use the R word, person around them in order for them to accept you? That's the question that I have. And if depending on your story or depending on your upbringing, your background, I would love to hear what you guys have gone through as a biracial person as far as trying to be accepted by either your black side or your white side. But this is why I feel biracial people should have a community of their own, because if they have to choose a side, then they would be neglecting their white side or their black side, and then we would have a product like Doja Cat. So if Doja Cat wouldn't have picked sides, I don't feel that she would be who she is today. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that she was abandoned and she never got to learn more about her black side. And I also feel that she has daddy issues. Another thing that I wanted to point out is if you really tune into these tiny chats, it's very, very weird. And you know, she is part of this sexual dominant community. And honestly, it's weird to me. I feel like something may have happened to her in her childhood to where maybe she was tampered with sexually. And I just get that vibe when you enter the chat room. It's very, very creepy, and it's so easy to pass judgment on her because you just don't know what happened to her. She didn't just come out the womb like this. Something had to have happened to her in order for her to be doing this type of behavior in a tiny chat room. And it's like, girl, you're famous. Why are you doing this? You could be doing this in the comfort of your home. But she's dealing with white men who are considered to be incels, and incels are people who desire love and romantic relationships, but they tend not to be in them, or they tend to isolate themselves and to do creepy things on the internet and enter tiny chats like the one Doja Cat was in. So it kind of questions a lot of things as far as what happened to her in her childhood. How did she become the person that she is today? And it just brings up a lot of questions. Was she molested as a child? These are questions that I have, but I don't really know. And then also, did her white Jewish mother have a true hatred for black people, or did she just have a hatred for her black father? Is this why she has a true hatred for black men? Was her mother passive aggressive in ways that made her promote self-hatred within herself or promote hatred in black men? These are questions that I have, but there are assumptions, there's speculations. These are questions that come up when you look at the information that is out here to the public. You kind of have these questions. So I would love your thoughts and opinion on this Doja Cat situation. But honestly, this entire time I thought that Doja Cat was rapping about black men, but this goes to show that a man will be a man. If he wants to be on BS, he will be on BS, and we should not discriminate based off of skin color, size, or age. A man who isn't about anything won't be about anything to you. Like I said, a dusty is a dusty. We can't discriminate, and as soon as you start discriminating, thinking that just because he's white or just because he's Mexican or just because he's non-black that he's better, you've played yourself, because you haven't even given yourself space to really vet this person to make sure that you're not subjecting yourself to some BS. So that's all that I have regarding this video. I would love your thoughts and opinions, so make sure you comment them down below. And if you are new here, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you are notified for when I upload, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.